agency, right? Let's be positive. And before I let you guys get all cute, right? Do you look cute? Oh, this person's winning and the Browns are winning. It's the Patriots. It's the guys who hoisted the Lombardi Trophy by a long shot. It's not even close. Look at what they did. They have been so surprisingly aggressive and active in the early days of free agency, where they usually kick back and take 5 and let everybody else spend their money like crazy, and then they sort of weed out and hit the draft accordingly. It all started during our show on Thursday. We're sitting in our other studio, our fancy studio, and we're sitting there. We're going to break, and it's Rappaport telling us that they signed Stephon Gilmore. What? Top cornerback free agent? What? They signed him to a huge deal, $40 million guaranteed. That's a ridiculous deal. It's a true #1 corner, 5 years, $65 million. But listen, you can make these kind of moves when you're the best trader in the league. This team makes deals, okay? So they lose Chris Long, right? Or first they do the Dwayne Allen thing, right? Marty B, they part ways. He's now with the Packers. They trade for Dwayne Allen, a very low risk, similar to Marty B sort of deal, good insurance for Gronk. Then they lose Chris Long. Hello, defensive end Coney Ealy. He's 7 years younger, by the way. They get him and a third-round pick. They basically went from picking at number 64 to number 72. The difference of 8 picks in a round was the cost of Coney Ealy. We all saw what he did in the Super Bowl, and we all know that the Patriots are the place to go to get the best out of a player who maybe isn't doing the best somewhere else. Then they're moving on to the aging receivers, right? Julian Edelman, after they have a plan for Danny Amendola. Michael Floyd dealing with issues. Chris Hogan up there at 28. They're looking for another piece. They add Brandon Cooks in this trade for their first-round pick, their 32nd overall. I love the move. It's, the speedy burner. He's 23. He's young. And I think that he was a steal. I like it for both sides. Brady is pretty happy. And he has this, agony of choices, right? It's the pain of having so many options of who to throw to, looking at his depth chart. And now they're not done because they don't pick till the 3rd round, right? So they've got this deal going out with Malcolm Butler. They could still potentially trade him if he signs his tender, and he should. So they can maybe get those picks in those first 3rd rounds, because the way I look at it, they're either saying there's nothing to be had in the first 3 rounds of the draft, or we're not done, and maybe we do still deal Jimmy Garoppolo or Malcolm Butler and get some picks, because they have to add a running back. They can probably do that in the draft. They need a linebacker, according to Lance Zierlein and Chris Wessling over there at NFL.com. They still have moves to make, and they're going to make them. They're totally winning free agency because all the needs that they had, they went and filled.
It's good. They're definitely the winners. I mean, everybody's looking at the Patriots thinking, are they going to relax and become complacent after winning again? But then they come out just ultimately aggressive, and it just seems like they understand where they are now. They're not a young team anymore, where they got a bunch of young vets that can make plays. They got some guys that they got to come out and compliment